what's up, everyone? This is Ren with Dance with My Demons podcast. Are you looking to start a podcast? Then let Buzzsprout be the way. Today is a great day to start your own podcast. Whether you're looking for a new marketing channel, have a message you want to share with the world, or just think it would be fun to have your own talk show. Podcasting is an easy, inexpensive, and fun way to expand your reach online. Buzzsprout is hands down the easiest and best way to launch, promote, and track your podcast. Your show could be online and listed on all the major podcast platforms like Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, and many more, just within minutes of finishing your recording. Podcasting isn't hard when you have the right partners, and the team at Buzzsprout is passionate about helping you succeed. Join over 100,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout to get their message out to the world. With Buzzsprout, you can create something great together. Follow the link in the show notes, which lets Buzzsprout know we sent you. Buzzsprout will send you a $20 Amazon gift card if you sign up for a paid plan, and it's sent after a second paid invoice. And it helps support our show as well. Buzzsprout, the best way to create a great and professional podcast. Later. Hey, what's up? I'm Ren, the host of Dance with My Demons podcast. Are you looking to start a podcast? Then let Anchor be the way. With Anchor's creation tools, you can record and edit right from your smartphone and personal computer. Anchor offers 100% free hosting and distribution, so you can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. Anchor allows you to make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Who doesn't want to make money, right? Anchor has everything you need to make a successful podcast all in one place. Anchor, the easiest way to make a podcast ever. Just download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And don't forget to check out my podcast at anchor.fm/dancingwithmydemons69 and on Spotify, Dancing with My Demons. See you all soon. Later. Bye. Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Ren with Dance with My Demons podcast. This is episode 20, the season finale, and on this episode, I've entitled it, When Worlds Collide, The Journey Continues. On today's episode, I have two special guests today. I have my fiance, Jackie, and I also have my very, very special guest, Aiden. Say hi, you guys.
Hi. What's going on?
So I decided to talk since our last episode with Jackie and I was about 2.5 months ago. I figure I'd get another perspective. You know, I've been together with Jackie for a year and 7 months? 8 months? But Aiden's also been a big part of my life, so I wanted to see another person's perspective, and maybe he can, see what he thinks about living with somebody with bipolar and mental illness and, what his thoughts are on it all. So with that being said, I'll hand it off to you two and, see what you guys got. You guys have known me for quite a bit now. What are your feelings on it? What are your thoughts on living with somebody who's bipolar and has a mental illness and, has to deal with the ups and downs?
I would say I don't see as much of it, definitely, than as my mom does. But I think overall we're pretty much very understanding of where you're coming from. I think it's probably easier for me to understand generally than it is for her, because you guys are in an intimate relationship. So you guys have to kneel on each other or lean on each other, as it were, in certain times, and I don't necessarily need that much support. So I can kind of, as a more of a bystander, kind of accept the facts of the matter and not necessarily be as emotionally involved. You know what I mean? Just like
Have you ever had any questions? Anything you've ever wondered about maybe about it or about how I deal with it? Or
it's not something I've ever experienced, you know. So I can just take the facts that I know about it and what I gather from your podcast and things like that, and give you your space when you need it, and try to pull you back in, if in whatever ways that I can,
That's awesome. That's good to hear. How about you, baby?
It's definitely hard. Some days are harder than others, but you have gotten a lot better. Definitely gotten a lot better. I remember at the beginning it was like I wanted to just rip your head off.
What's changed the most since our last time being on the air?
Communication.
What changed about it? What's different?
You communicate a lot better. You're slowly communicating a lot better. You need a lot more work, but you're communicating a lot more. You used to just leave for days. Now you're at least let me know. You send me a text and I already know that you're going through something. So it's gotten a lot better with that.
I personally think his head has gotten a lot shinier. I don't know if he's been using some sort of wax.
For those of you out there that can't see me right now, I don't have any hair. so
on the top of your head.
Yes, on the top of my head, I am very bald. So he's commenting about that.
No, but I don't think, I think it's made a lot easier, not that it's particularly, on us to say, how hard it is, because it's got to be a lot harder for you dealing with the mental illness, but it's made so much easier on our end because you're genuinely such a good guy.
I sometimes wonder how, because how I see myself is going to be very different than how people around me see it. I always wonder how you see me, or when you think about it, knowing that I'm bipolar, what you see or how you see things, or because I don't always know. I live with myself and I live in my own head every single day, so I'm sure I see things very differently than the rest of the world. But I often wonder how you see things in regards to me.
I don't think that my family can see that as much as I can see things because I'm with you. I am a partner, so I'm the one that sees when you're not having a good day or when you're feeling down or when enough is enough, when people are around and you want out. I don't think my family realizes that. They just see you as Ren. That's it,
I think that's just how I mean, truly, I think that's how, I see him. And I think that's because, first of all, it's the person that I see, when he's in those states, I don't see him usually.
You see the fun Ren.
But I think that's who he really is. So even, when he's in depressive states, I would say that's not him. You know what I mean? That's not the person.
Yeah, he's definitely not him.
Yeah. So that's the sickness. That's him trying to get through this state that he has to deal with sometimes fairly regularly, unfortunately. But that's not who he is. That's not his personality. That's
definitely not. I also think that with the podcast, he's been more stable, if that's the right word.
I think it's definitely a good outlet.
Yeah, it's an outlet. He speaks his mind more, where before he just doesn't. He just shuts down. He just shuts away from the world, period. So I think the podcast has made you more vocal and expressing your feelings more and helping others. So it's been a good outlet.
Well, that's good to know. That's kind of the whole point behind it. I've always just wanted a place to put all my thoughts and what I feel inside, and exactly that, have an outlet to speak about things. I guess when I'm around people, regardless of who it is, family, loved ones, obviously, but I'm probably a little bit more mindful of it because when I'm completely by myself, it's different than when I'm dealing with something, because I don't have to think so much. I can just kind of just let whatever's going to happen. But when I'm around loved ones and people that I care about, it's very different. You're definitely more mindful of things, and you have to, I guess kind of put yourself in check a little bit more and be a little more patient about things, and not just, you can't just take off, in those moments, as much as, I might feel it. You just kind of become more, I don't know, I don't want to say disciplined, but more, I guess you just put more thought into it, and you realize that there are some situations in life that, you just have to, you got to be able to sustain, and you got to kind of
just put on a smiling face to get through it,
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it,
I want to ask you a question.
Sure, absolutely.
Now that you are moving in together, how do you feel?
It's a process. Definitely, it's a much better process than I was a few weeks ago. I think I needed more time then to process everything. It wasn't something just as simple as just, okay, pack my things and I'm going to do it. It doesn't work that way for me. I really have to kind of let it sink in for a bit and process and think it. And, for everybody else, it's probably just like, just something you do. But for me, it's not. It really takes a lot to think about things and process it and go over it again. And how other people are going to feel about it, not just myself. A lot of thought goes into it for me to make a decision, and it's not just a small decision; it's a life change. So it does. It's good. I'm right now I'm at a good place. I mean, a good place mentally about it. But I definitely, I can honestly tell you, a few weeks ago I needed some time. You need time to think about things. It's just me making changes in just about anything I do in my life will never be a simple thing. It'll never be a sudden thing with me just, okay, I'm good and we can just do that. It probably will never be that way. It'll always be something I'm going to have to think about and have to take some time with it and kind of let it set in and get a good feeling about it. I'll never just be let's just do it. It really doesn't work that way for me. As much as sometimes I wish it was, it doesn't. It doesn't happen that way upstairs in my brain. I guess because there's a lot going on there, and in my brain I have to slow it down a bit and I guess filter through it all and make sense of everything that's going on up there. So, I guess that's a small picture of what it's like inside my head, as shiny as it may be.
Is it something that you're looking forward to doing?
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Do you think that you've lived in that other spot for a while, I would assume?
Yeah.
Do you think that it's gonna be like, can you call another place home? Do you think you'll have be able to reach that same level of comfort?
Yeah, I don't feel so out of sorts because we've all, obviously with the both of you, I'm close to both of you very much. So that definitely eases a lot of the thoughts that go on in my head. If I was just thrust into a situation where it was completely strange, it would probably take me much longer. But it helps the fact that I'm genuinely around people that I'm very, very comfortable with and that care about me, and I care about them, and I love them all. So that helps. It will take some getting used to, but it's not necessarily because of the place. It was no different for me than when I moved to my last place. I felt the same exact way. It was a change. It was a life change, and I had to get used to it. And it had nothing to do with people, because for a better part of my time there, I lived on my own. It was just a change. It's a change that you have to get used to. And because, living with my, mental illness, change is a difficult thing.
it's not something that you really like. It's not something you really even go looking for, because for me personally, I find comfort in my routine and the way I do things, and it just keeps me at ease, keeps me at peace. So, any type of big change is, it's a process. But to answer your question, I think like I said, I'm very fortunate that I'm around people that I really, really love, and they love me in return and care about me. That helps a lot. That makes a transition much, much better. Will there still be a time for process? Absolutely. It will continue to be a process until I finally just settle into it for however my brain decides. It'll click, and that'll kind of be it. But it will be an adjustment period. I'm always so mindful of people around me, and not to. It's different when you live completely on your own than when you're living with other people. When you're living completely on your own, you don't think about other things because you don't have to consider it. It's just you and your world. When you're living with others, I'm very considerate of them. I think about everything, all the details, and I never want to put how I have to live. Like, I don't like to burden others. So I adjust. I recognize I have to adjust myself to be able to have things fit in. So I don't feel like it's going to be a big drastic change. I think the worst of it is behind me. The process of it, at least, is behind me. Now, for me, I'm kind of in that mindset of just wanting to get the move over with, because to me, that's the most stressful part of my head. It's just getting that done and actually living in that, my new routine, my new life. But I like the questions. It's cool to be able to talk about things from other perspectives and think about how other people's thoughts are and how they see things and how they feel about things. How do you guys feel about it? I mean, just as much as it is going to be a change for me, it's going to be a change for you both. How do you both feel about it?
I mean, I think it's going to present its challenges as far as, you guys are concerned for the fact that, living in the same place means that there isn't those periods where you can go away for so long,
Mm-hmm.
Like, at the end of the day, even if you guys are, if you're working through a depressive state, you're going to have to come home and, be in the same bed, same house, and, it'll be a different process for learning that. And then, Bella farts. The dog, the other one, just pees every 3 seconds on the floor, and that's frustrating. So if you don't punt the dog, I think you'll get over everything else, really.
I know it seems odd to the rest of the world listening to this. Let me just give you a little update. Bella is our pet dog. She's a bulldog, and we have another dog. His name is Oreo. He's a little Chihuahua, and we also have 2 kittens, Nala and Lucifer. And I'm missing somebody.
Yeah, but
We're missing an animal, aren't we?
you have to say Oreo is 18 years
Oh.
old.
Yeah,
Chihuahua.
Oreo's 18 years old, and he constantly pees on the floor.
Yeah, Oreo is an 18-year-old Chihuahua. He's like as old as Yoda from Star Wars, and he loves to pee like everywhere. I guess if I were his age, I guess I'm gonna be peeing myself. So, honey, if I do, please just take me out to the front and just find me a good spot to pee on the grass. But that's who we are laughing about and joking about, because to live with these critters, it's interesting, and they make you laugh a lot. Definitely an interesting part of our lives, but they make us laugh a lot and keep our lives interesting.
I'm excited for you to move in, to start a new chapter. It's going to be, I know more or less when to give you your time. That's why you have your own office.
I think that might be valuable to you too, is having the animals around, because I
Yeah.
know they help my mental health.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
They're
I'm
very helpful.
sitting at a desk all day for weeks at a time because of the pandemic, and you know, I'd go in my room. I still got these 2 cats running around doing dumb shit all day, just knocking me into walls for no reason. And it helps me to be able to laugh.
And they love you, so.
I agree that the animals definitely, they lighten things up and they make things more fun, and they remind us not to take things in life so serious. So I love having that. I love having our furry little kids around.
I had to cut poop off of Lucy's balls today.
Yes, that's that must have been interesting.
Resets you.
Yeah, it definitely humbles you.
Yeah.
It brings you down to earth.
What am I doing with my life right now? I'm strangling a black cat in a way that I just with scissors to his little nuts, and I'm just performing this surgery that he'll never understand. And then I'm gonna act like in an hour from now we're just gonna be cool again. Like he's
Best
not gonna
friends.
remember that.
Your best friends.
Poor guy. I wish I could tell him exactly what was going on.
Oh my god.
But I wanted to congratulate you on your 20th episode. And I'm
20
sure that
episodes. It went by fast, to be
Yeah,
honest with you.
I'm
It really did go by
sure.
fast.
The new episodes are going to bring you a lot more.
Season 1's over.
Season 1 is
A
over.
lot more things to talk about.
It's hard to imagine for me because this podcast technically wasn't supposed to happen. First of all, and I've said it very early on, this podcast happened while I was in the middle of a manic episode. But it wasn't really supposed to happen. It was actually a conversation Aiden and I had, and it was supposed to be something in regards to technology. And this particular topic just kind of, I don't know, just kind of happened one week when I was on a coronavirus quarantine. I was home for 10 days completely by myself, and it just kind of clicked. I was like, wow, I have something to
I
talk
think
about,
it
and I have a
was
lot to
the-
talk about.
Best thing to happen to you, besides me.
Yeah, it was,
Overrated.
but it has. It's helped me out so much. You know, I've loved all the support I've gotten from everyone. I've loved all the feedback that I've gotten from everyone, and I'm proud of the 20 episodes I've done up to this point. It's been really cool. It's been really fun. It's been great to get a lot of stuff out. But I look forward to what comes next for season 2. But I'm glad this episode seems extra special to me now as I think about it, because I have 2 people next to me that I love and care about a lot, and it actually made this a very fun episode. So with that being said, I hope you all have a great holiday. You know, we've got Thanksgiving and Christmas and Halloween coming up. I don't know how this is going to play out with COVID, but it should be fun to see. But until season 2 starts up, which will probably be in a few weeks, I hope you all stay safe and stay healthy, stay strong in mind. And guys,
Bye. See you
safe.
next time.
be safe, everyone. And God, I'm having a brain fart right now.
Thank you to our sponsors.
Yes.
MeUndies
Don't let
and
your
Quip
demons
and
Stay healthy, stay strong in mind, but most of all, don't let the demons get you down. Later.
I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. I'll be back with an all-new episode very soon. Until then, you can catch past episodes of Dance with My Demons podcast on anywhere you listen to your favorite podcast on. You can also catch me on Instagram at Dance with My Demons 69, on Facebook, Dance with My Demons podcast, on X at DWMD podcast 69. And also, if you or somebody you know is going through an emotional or mental crisis, 988 is the National Suicide Lifeline. Keep that in mind. We're all in this together, and everybody needs each other's help. So until then, stay strong in mind, stay strong in heart, but most of all, don't let the demons get you down. Later.